Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Today we're looking at some more reactions, responses amidst what's gone down in recent time in terms of the mystery partygoer's identity finally being revealed and external crimes committed which don't link to the case but in general are very shocking and can make the person look quite dangerous. Then when reflecting back on a person like that, in the presence of Noah Presgrove, it doesn't look that good, does it? Whilst there's been other aims and focuses elsewhere at the likes of Jack, Avery, TikTok post, social media post, interpreting what they say and do there as suspicious, dark and evil, and how it can link back to the party and that they're responsible. But it tends to be double standards and just focused one way. What I did, I looked at it from a different side, holistically, because I've done it in the past, come full circle now. But what were the reactions? I just wanted to give you a little taster of what's been looked at recently. And if any of you have not seen my video yet, or the one last night, don't worry, you will find that. Top right corner of the screen where the eye symbol is, click up there, you get the full playlist drop down box. But today, I want to go over the comments because there's been a lot of activity and recently as well. I want to continue the theme of discussions. For example, what I did last night was successful, yielded new video ideas, and people just seem to show support and appreciate that style of coverage. So I will continue doing so because that seems to be the way to go at this moment in time. And we'll go from there. Justin Roy has been a lot more active as well, so it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say. The video that I did last night as well, activity there. But maybe we'll save that for a separate video. We'll just see how we are today with timing because there's over like 140 comments on one video, which is quite surprising because obviously ever since last few months, it has really quietened off. But when you do get a certain talking point and breaking news, it will catch people's attention, but will it be for the right reason or the wrong reason? Will there be levels of resistance or not? How I outlined my video at the time, very clear, disclaimer, very clear, to the point where just humans cannot complain, and if they do, well, that's unfortunate. But if we do have time, what I would like to aim and focus on as well would be a particular post made on Facebook and some mistakes made, more of a misunderstanding and lack of experience from the likes of some. And that'll be to do with in regard to the Mikey Lair Snapchat post. Someone has supposedly picked up on an anomaly, some strange little thing within the Snapchat, and it's like, oh, could this mean there's something dodgy behind it? Could it mean that Ken Press's timeline is true and that this is not? Is it people desperately grasping at straws, trying to put their case and agenda across? Or is it just more so lack of knowledge? It'll be the latter for this particular one. And I'll share with you my response. We'll look at the original post, acknowledge, analyze, and whatever else. I think first of all, let's just start with the heavy stuff, with the comments on YouTube. Let's start with the bottom of the comments and we can work our way up. First of all, we've got someone called Elmo. Welcome to the channel, Elmo. They say, isn't he one of them from Texas? That's in regard to implying that Ace Franco is, but that's not the case. Ace Franco being one of Justin Roy's family members. And Joy says, nope, also known as Twinkling. Patricia, I just wish for truth, justice, and progress. We've not got that yet. Shout out to Twilight, of course. Spencer, yeah, I've heard Ace's name before mentioned on Partners in True Crime podcast. Really? I don't remember picking up on that personally. You know, the only Ace that I heard of in the past was some random guy with some dodgy shades on that was saying, oh, yeah, let's pay for this or pay for that, and, you know, we'll get the audio over and the transcripts and clean it up, and there was supposedly some kind of scammer. I don't know what the hell that was all about. But Spencer says, I'm sure Ace picked up Noah at his grand's on Sunday night to the party house and dropped him off and never received a call to pick him up. No, well, to my knowledge, and this is only based off what Justin Roy has said in the past, and it's not changed since, it was Gage Jessen that picked up Noah Presgrove and picked up Mikey Lair and dropped him down at the party house. Let's see if Justin Roy shows up here. Carl says, pretty interesting. Makes sense that he never got asked to pick him up. When was Ace at the party? Was he there Monday in the morning from midnight on? And now we've got a person called Holly Yates. And some people have said that Holly is in a bit of a molly. A molly wally. What the hell's going on? Let's just check one thing. Joined 1 day ago. So I think it's very evident. We'll take a look at the comments, of course. But for anyone that thinks that Holly is, throwing her dolly out of the pram, it is what it is. Holly Dolly joined 1 day ago. It's self-explanatory. This is a dodgy default profile account, likely under control of someone problematic. I've seen these patterns of behaviour and trends in the past. Same old, predictable, simple as. 1 day ago, dodgy. What did they say? I wonder that. Also, it is very interesting, isn't it, Andrew? Andrew who? Because the person that's left a comment in the first place is Spencer. Now, the short story is some viewers reached out to me and said that Holly is responding to Carl and calling Carl Andrew. But I think Holly is implying that Spencer is technically called Andrew only because the UK flag is shown on screen. The Union Jack, if you want to call it that, more so, Union Jack. So from the UK, pretty much. Very silly. Okay, but this reasoning ability, it does link back to one particular person, possibly. Very disgusting to cash in on a dead young man, try to stop him getting the justice he deserves, go cuddle your mannequin and twist your apple nipples. I'm disgusted with your morals. So, Holly here is actually responding to me, Warlike Ref. In terms of the mannequin, that's just that scarecrow thing, what I've got, which I've used as a joke at times in the background. So I guess what Holly is referring to here is that I need to, cuddle a inanimate object because I've got nothing in life, pretty much. And that I need to twist my apple cores, which are those little nipply things, to satisfy myself. So clearly Holly is, quite petty and whiny, but no surprise there. The wording, the complaints, there's examples of people we've heard people complaining by, and that would be the likes of, we don't need to mention the name, but I know it in my head. Okay, we'll see if anyone else does. Justin, that wasn't Ace, that was Gage Jessen, known as GJ. Yeah, okay. 2 different people, supposedly, yeah. Also, Ace didn't drive to the party. Okay. So at least here, Justin saying the same stuff as he said in the past, which is a bit positive. Don't explain your nephew's actions to these people. They're not worth anything. I've watched their morals and integrity and ate lower than low. Just because your nephew made a mistake does not make him a bad person. Wait, what's considered the mistake? Yeah, I just made a mistake of driving and discharging a firearm. I made a mistake of battery, physical harm to someone. But I'm not a bad person. Oh, Holly, your mindset. As said, it reminds me of some people out there. Could be the same ones, indeed. Sam, what else do we have? The people who did that to Noah are rotten, and the people covering for them even worse. But that is your opinion because there is not enough hard evidence to say that people did something to Noah with intent, and that it was covered up as well. We don't have hard evidence to support that. It's just a theory, an idea. Come on. I'm disgusted. I'm shocked daily by these people that even open up YouTube account to tell them about themselves. Yuck. Well, to be honest, I'm disgusted in your piss poor wording and language. And, the fact that you are hovering around on my channel, you seem to be a little bit obsessed. But besides what Holly believes, that warlike wrath is Spencer, and I'm very sure Spencer can speak for themselves, separate people. The other mention made by Holly is that Carl, the guy who is 72 or 73 years old but doesn't look that age, Holly is saying that Carl is warlike wrath as well by saying also. 100% guaranteed. Weirdo is commenting on his own footage. That says it all to me. Now, I do find this very cringe-worthy and embarrassing that someone like this, with what they say, is very similar to what Criminals Hate Me Travis Davidson would say. It's the same mindset, making many bold, false claims without any evidence, and other people out there are stupid enough to fall for it, as we've seen. What comes down to this conclusion, and why is it always coming down to this, that warlike wrath supposedly has other accounts out there? It's very weird. It's, out of all the things you could conclude with or use as an insult, that you resort to this about having alternative accounts. Why would I need alternative accounts? It's just unnecessary. That one girl responds to Holly saying, why would you say that? Goodness, I'm starting to think that you're Trav. Wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Take a few deep breaths, reset yourself. And Spencer, take a good look at yourself before commenting on others. See, Spencer speaking his own mind. Fair enough. Holly, I've not commented ever. Well, you've not really commented ever because in terms of this specific account, you created it a day ago, probably on the same day or close to the same day as when you left a comment. So pretty self-explanatory that. But we'll see what goes on from here. I see myself and I'm not nothing like you people. Oh, we talk about intelligence or something. I don't make money from people's misery or a young man's tragic death. Sometimes people need to be outed for the truth. Andrew needs to be shown for what he's doing. And that's the truth. There's plenty else I've been watching that needs to be talked about. Let's see if Andrew speaks on this. Take care, Spencer. Once again, embarrassing, the comments. Making money how? Because people pay for super stickers? It's all by choice, isn't it? Obviously, you're new to YouTube. I follow a lot of crime podcasts on YouTube and YouTubers that just cover cases. Believe me, when I say that, they all get support on YouTube and other platforms, PayPal, Venmo, etc. I will agree with you on one thing, and one thing only. Some people are definitely making money off this unfortunate situation. There could be, fundraisers out there, dodgy, shady stuff out. Again, please define you people. Don't mix me in with any group, dark, light, orange, beige, or anything else. Last thing, I can totally see why you have never commented. Well, they may have commented, but just on a different account. Oh my God, I'm defo out. You'll be back again on your hands and knees, likely under a different account. It's inevitable. That was my bad, should never have got sucked into this, couldn't help myself, but don't think for 1 second the actions are going unnoticed. I said what I said. You said what you said. It's not that big of a deal. You've got no evidence to back it up. It'll go in one ear, out the other, and for others full on deaf ears, and that's it. And one girl sums it up. No words. What's even happening? What is happening is warlike wrath is dealing with typical humans, just like what I've been dealing with since the moment I was brought into this world. It's as simple as. And killing me, asylum is calling. Well, to be honest, I heard, Rebecca, that the local asylum didn't even want to take in Holly because they were that incompetent. I don't know who would. Oh wow, I've been sucked back in again, as you, Becca, have commented. Here comes the obsessions. I've been waiting for this. You're a grandmother. You act like a mean girl from a playground in high school. How can you be a good example to raise strong women when you have proven how easily influenced you are at your own big grown age? I bet you've never fitted in anywhere though. very randomness, but it also seems very personal. So it'd imply that conversations have probably come about elsewhere and grudges too. That they might be called Holly on YouTube, but they're probably called someone much different elsewhere, don't you think? I have seen all your past comments and posts in all the groups, so that would probably mean Facebook. You got a place on the Mean Girl table, found your place to fit. You found a best friend in Joyce Bergow, who is just as bad, was screaming on the army page, sharing screenshots, and now look where you both are. You basically both bitches who do what they're told. Right, okay. So supposedly Joyce Bergow and Becca are being called that. By bullies who tell you what to do, but neither of you are anything to the ones giving you instructions. I mean, in terms of Joyce Bergow and Becca and other people out there, from what I've seen myself, they can think for themselves, they do what they do, they get shit done. And like with Joyce as an example, when it's come to them, in their own actions, reaching out to some people here and there and providing updates, hence the ARC page and the post there has been quite important. And when it's come to, for example, Becca, with certain screenshots or old ones, repost, very important at times, right place, right time, they got it under control. I think maybe some people are just a little bit jealous. I think some people may be a little bit jealous that Becca has a treadmill and a black belt, and other people may be jealous that Bergow is winning cornhole competitions left, right and centre. It happens. You're so insecure, clearly never fitted in somewhere. Oh boy. Oh, bullying Justin and team up. So this person appears to be from the light side more so. The whiny side. And, it goes on and on and on, right? Very odd. You only answer to every comment you ever make. You're a grandma. Very weird. Your detective skills suck, grandmother. Okay, we'll call it that. If you must know, I've taken... Okay. I enjoy laughing at how incredibly stupid you are. When I look at people like this, I don't laugh because I'm just bored by it, pretty much. So if you want to pause the video, you can if you want. But of course, it's not too focused. Weird comments. You never seen such weird comments before, Rebecca? Oh boy. Well, when it comes to the past, I've come across a lot. So it's nothing new to me, this. We've got Melissa. I have a question. Okay. What's with this dark side and light side? Who are they and how did this come about? Seriously curious. By the way, I'm on Noah's side. Fair enough. Thank you, Raf, for continuous coverage and keeping the light shining. Appreciate that. Big shout out to Melissa and welcome to the channel. So the dark side and the light side. When did it come about exactly? I can't pinpoint it, but I did hear the terms and references by other people. I've coined the terms, used them myself because it is good at categorizing who is who in a time-efficient manner. So people from the light side tend to be people from the army page and partially the case discussion page on Facebook. People from the light side tend to be very supportive in Caden Pressey, even if it means being blinded by the truth. People from the light side can get triggered if outsiders question Caden Pressey with a genuine question. You're deemed as a bad person and you're outed for questioning anything. People from the light side tend to define the term as unbiased, as in one-sided coverage. But the moment you cover multiple viewpoints, you're considered biased and not balanced. Bit dumb, isn't it? But that's just how it works. The dark side is basically people that question Caden Pressey and has with time consisted of people that are connected in some way to party goers such as Jack Newton, Carter Combs, Avery, Jasmine, etc. Things like that. People from the dark side that have What else? Mentioned about the counterpoints to it not being murder and it not being a cover-up. That's kind of like a vague way of mentioning it. For further response, we'll just see. Shout out to Melanie Fagan, popping up once again. The part of the Kitty Cat group. Okay. The dark side and light side came about when there started to be a division in Noah's supporters. It was based on people related to or supportive of those that were at the party. Example, friends of Noah. They were called the dark side because they were said to be not telling the truth by the light side, which was all the rest of Noah's supporters, like online, that believed that Noah was beaten and murdered by someone or all of, or a mixture of the party kids and friends of Noah. Also, in the beginning, it was said that those in favour of the party house folks were fighting, laughing, and making a mockery of things that was serious, victim-shaming Noah, and in general seemed to be bullies and mean girls, boys. So the other side was considered the light side. I have to say, though, since time has gone on, I have personally seen one by one the worst betrayals of trust, the total flat-out lies and drama being created from people that originally were part of the light side. Some have moved on over to the dark side because they've got sick and tired of the light side and have been outed. Some have decided, as they get kicked out of each group, to hang out on the families page. But over time, there's been a remarkable shift in people. In my opinion, no longer is there a dark and light side. Both sides, in my opinion, equally bully each other and are mean to each other, in my opinion. You might say some of that is justified because of the horrible accusations against people that were innocent, but now it seems like those neighbours who have been fighting with each other for so long, they both have done crap to each other. Nobody's hands are clean. That's just my take on it now. Fair enough. I don't think there is a dark and light side anymore, but neither has there been a unifying into one team all for Noah. It's still broken up by those that believe that Noah had an accident on the road and those that believe Noah met foul play and was harmed on the property and moved to the road. My observations, I could be wrong, but people are in general pretty terrible to each other. Here and there, maybe. Great explanation, says Rebecca. You explained that perfectly. Everyone I know is simply on Noah's side. I think my explanation of the light side was extremely accurate as well, and we can go into it further later. Great summary. And there's also a third side, a third group, the ones in between, which are the biggest problem. Let's not forget that. I've highlighted it already. Michelle Brummett, excellent video. Appreciate that. You're welcome. Glad you liked the video. And here we go, Justin. Lelia, this is absolutely ridiculous and shows the person you really are. So obviously Justin responding amidst that news of the Ace Franco situation and the mugshot. LE has had my nephew's name since September 2023. Well, yeah, but publicly we have not. And I do understand why it couldn't be done at the time because of being underage, but now it is important to cover it, to tick it off the list, to fill in the grey areas and to learn about the case, right? That's what we do about all the other people. Where were other people at? What were they doing? Who was there? Who remained and who left? Heavy focus on that. Well, if so, then the same should apply to, some of Justin's family members at a point in time when it can be done. Anyway, I literally did a podcast and mentioned my nephews were there. Well, yeah, you did, but you didn't actually identify each person or name. So it was a grey area. And my family members were there. Well, I remember Justin saying his family of family and some married into the Milan family were down at the party. As for direct family members, what you mean immediate family was actually at the party as well? I don't remember that. Is that extra details all of a sudden? But just to say that your nephews were there, 6 to 10 people, that's quite an amount, isn't it? That's just a group, just people, but names. Who are the names? Who are they? You could say, oh yeah, there was 40 people at the party and we never knew of any of the names. Well, that doesn't help, does it? About learning. Justin says that the thing I find crazy is all of the party host friends and family keep saying that LE do their job or they trust the LE. Yet none of my nephews have been interviewed and several party goers haven't been interviewed. What, you mean by police? Still to this day. Caden Pressey literally stayed the night and his shoe was found on Noah. Yet LE didn't even want to interview him at all. Right. Stayed the night. What do you mean by that, Justin? You mean stayed the night there Sunday or early hours of Monday morning? Or combination of both? See, I did see a post somewhere else where people were clarifying about what people mean by the night before, but they're not considering it as Monday, they're still considering it as Sunday night until they've finally gone to sleep, even if it is on a Monday. Then when they finally wake up on a Monday at a later point, then they'll consider it Monday morning. And I know Denise Rogers-Arnold said, oh yeah, Warlike Raf seems to have that problem. It's not so much that I have a problem, it's just more so I like to be specific, okay? Other people can use their poor language wording and all over the place. And maybe not that particular situation, but in other areas, there have been confusion over time. There have been misdirection and it's been incompetent and a mess. Okay? You look at court documents, you look at court papers, you look at the specificness of words and how it's mentioned and the repetitive nature of it as well, the structuring. Oh, I'm sorry if my standards are a little bit higher. It is what it is. I just don't want there to be confusion, right? Maybe my language is a bit higher. Maybe there is a language barrier at times. And to be honest, it seems to be all the bloody time, the way people misunderstand me. Not much more I can do. But at least when I'm speaking outwards, I try and make it as clear as possible, right? It's either Sunday night or it's Monday morning. It's not that difficult. At the time, and this is what separates me probably from most humans, but if you're doing something Sunday night, it's past midnight, it's basically Monday morning, early hours. At the time, am I referring to it as Monday? No, not always. I'm still referring to it as Sunday. Oh, okay then. Well, that's the same here with the partygoers. No, because the next time that I wake up on the day that I went to sleep earlier, as soon as I've woken up, and if I do respond about what I did beforehand or at a later point in time, retrospectively, I will refer to it as I went to sleep early Monday morning, not that I went to sleep Sunday night. That is why I stick with the words that I do and why I question what I do and what I see. So when I'm doing coverage and I see other people's comments and it's worded alternatively, I will question it because how I word things, time and place, it's different to other people. So, I mean, it's fully justified. And there's a level of care, shown, as in not wanting to cause confusion, wanting to clarify, to double check. So I wouldn't say, Denise Rogers-Arnold, it's a problem. I mean, it's just something that there's no harm in acknowledging every now and then. And that's from Facebook, in case anyone's wondering. It just reminded me. Anyway, what else do we have? I can understand what Justin is getting at about Caden with his shoe being on Noah. You would think that LE would want to interview him first to figure out why was your shoe on like the victim's body, what the hell happened there? If Jack can be followed up as in why is your phone pinging near to Noah's body, the same should apply to the proximity of Caden's shoe on Noah. Does Caden know something that others don't? Did the police want to learn about Caden to figure out how it ended up on Noah? It would make sense, but because police weren't in a rush or didn't really bother much or pursue Caden, it is odd. But Caden did push and then eventually got interviews, as we've seen. Now, my question is, when Justin says about my nephews, as in, I guess all of his nephews all of his nephews, 6 to 10 of his nephews that attended the party have not been interviewed at all. And several party goers as well haven't been interviewed. Well, did they do the same as what Cade and Pressy did, constantly pushing and pushing to get an interview, or not? And do we have, besides the nephews, do we have any hard evidence of who the other partygoers that haven't been interviewed? Do we actually know who they are or what? Because it sounds a little bit vague. And the question would be, in total, how many partygoers have been interviewed compared to those that have not? Do we actually know? Justin says, it tells me either Ellie is very incompetent or Cade and Pressy, my nephews, and a few others that have not been interviewed are not people of any interest in this case. So which is it? Oh no. Did Justin Roy seriously include Caden's name in the same sentences as referring to his nephews not being interviewed? Because of how it's worded and there is no full stop or period, Justin Roy is saying and stating, or is it because Cade and Pressy and my nephews and others have not been interviewed because they're not a person of interest in the case? Justin Roy is saying Cade and Pressy has never been interviewed. What? What about that whole obsession and talk about Caden's hacked and leaked interview with police of 2024 in June? Because I know Justin is fully aware of that, talking about it on and off, and other people in the community referring to it, how Alicia or the Dropbox got hacked and people reposting and resharing it and talking on and on and on. Justin making references as well. Justin simply acknowledging about Caden's leaked interview. Well, if you know, Justin, that Caden had an interview with police, it's been publicly revealed, as we've all seen by now, and now you, Justin, are saying Cade and Pressy has not been interviewed. What does that mean? What? Cade and Pressy has been interviewed. Granted, it may have taken a bit longer and Caden had to push, but very weird, very, very, very weird what Justin said there. The hypocrisy is ridiculous in this case and coverage. So is Ellie doing their job or not? Can't have it both ways. See, in other times and occasions, I do find it funny when some people do complain or mention about the hypocrisy or double standard of things, and yet they're the originator of the problem from their behaviour at times. Interesting. That's just in general that. And I have stated several times that whoever did this to Noah, I want charged to the fullest. I don't care who it is. And I have not been covering for anyone. Thank God I have the messages and emails to prove that. And I stand by my statement that I think the majority of people after 2 a.m. know exactly what happened to Noah that morning. Oh, are you referring to how your nephews had left before 2 a.m, so they're innocent, but anyone after 2 a.m. will know what's happened to Noah? What, including Cade and Pressy, who was asleep all that time? Interesting. The problem is, though, others have been mentioning that in the community amongst discussions that some of Justin's nephews, if not most or maybe all, actually left after 2 a.m, so then that would apply as in they know what happened to Noah as well. It's a very bold claim for Justin to make here, that Geofence knows exactly who was there and who wasn't. With it being almost 20 months and Ace not being interviewed by OHP, it's pretty safe to say he's probably not a suspect in anything. I think Ellie knows exactly what happened. It would have been good, though, if people were cleared more efficiently and clearer. I mean, it was Robin that said she was told by police, or maybe more so a specific named police guy. Not Anthony, but the other one. I always forget the other name, the main guy. But the mention of Texas boys, 5 of them cleared from the case, Were they interviewed, though, before being cleared, or what? Made you think. See, when it came to the Dylan Browns case, even though interviews were done and the victim's family parents did cooperate, they were still not ruled out. They were still on the list for questioning, even though they were nowhere present at the time. Crazy. What else do we have here? Wonder what excuse Brooke Bounds-Carter and a few others are going to say when they tried to push the side-by-side accident killed Noah and everyone knew about it. Well, isn't that old news, though, how people have already theorised in the early days about the side-by-side going wrong? That's all it was about back then, so it's nothing new, Justin. Carl, what was the podcast you mentioned, Partners in True Crime, that Holly said you shared? Oh, God, not Holly again. Oh, boy. I didn't say he shared nothing. So Holly is responding to Carl here, and Holly is calling Carl Andrew and referring to Andrew as a thicko. I said he's been open about his family being at the party. I'm genuinely concerned for you and asking this for you. Are you okay? Interesting. That one girl responds to Holly, are you okay? Someone can't ask a simple question without you going psycho mode. Bring it down about 10 notches. And Justin responds to Carl. Ellie has had their name since September 2023, and the Partners in True Crime episode was number 5, and not interviewed them. Wonder why? Because they're not people of interest in this case. Common sense here points to who pinged near Noah, who gave him a shower, who went looking for him, who deleted everything and cleaned everything up, in my opinion. Oh, are you highlighting Carter Combs, then? They know what happened that morning, watch and see, just trying to get lesser charges. And then we got Lisa as well, and so on. I couldn't help it. About had an anxiety attack reading all her comments, like, what the hell? And don't worry, it continues on. I've been here the whole time and it was time to comment. You've been here the whole time, as in what? All this time when me covering the case, because, well then you'd expose yourself having an alternative account then, wouldn't you? Just because I've sat back and not said anything doesn't mean, well, if you've sat back all this time but you're only commenting now and yet this account was created one day ago, well, that would seem to highlight that you've had an alternative account beforehand that you were using. Very interesting. We don't take pills here in England to solve our problems. What does that exactly mean? How unusual. And I drink my 2 litres of water every single day. Well, good for you. It's getting disturbing to watch him now going at innocent young men who are paying their dues to society. I thought it was an accident, or was it Ken pressing his mama? Now we're bringing these young men up. In brackets, Andrew, do better. And people, please don't be like Andrew. Have some morals and standards. Interesting. You're delusional. They might be drinking water, but what is in the water, I wonder? If you have the emails as you just stated, why not share them? Lelia, you've shown the liar you are from day one, Justin. But Lelia is calling Justin as Justine. Is someone transitioning or in drag? Go back to hiding. The world was a much better place. Maybe someone should tell your wife to get control of you again. Does that mean getting the dog leash out? I thought I was the only one that had a dog leash. Oh well. Rebecca, oh my God, you have me hysterically laughing. Someone sounds a little dehydrated. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit dehydrated right now, but that's from reading all the comments. Don't know how they do it in England. I'm not too sure. Justin. Oh, I have emails and messages of everything I have done. I also have over 2,000 screenshots or more. Wait, wasn't Justin the one calling out Rebecca or somebody else for having over 200 or 400? And here's Justin with 2,000. Bloody hell. Is this like some kind of competition of who's got the most screenshots or something? Wow. Oh, it's coming in due time. I also did a podcast over this. Maybe you missed it. What podcast? What? Partners in True Crime? But I haven't been hiding any more from the party. The truth is people from that party know exactly what happened to Noah. I said this from day one. Anyone from the party after 2 a.m. knows what's happened, meaning everyone's responsible. Just seems a little bit bold, that. It seems to go on a little bit more. An embarrassment to women. Why don't you stop being bullied and something off and actually have your own answer? It's going on and on and on. You're angry because you're not an admin on the army page anymore. Weird. Justin says exactly. She's very vindictive too. I'm glad I removed her. She had a huge vendetta. So Justin is siding with Holly. That speaks volume itself. It's a little bit embarrassing, I'll be honest. Melanie, how do you know this? Is it true? Yes, befriended because we finally saw the truth of you and your BS. Vindictive. Boy Roy. Okay, well, it goes on and on and on. Okay. We'll move on. At the 30-minute and 38-second mark, Mike Johnson, as in, on Facebook, which I was looking at as a comment at the time. Did any of my nephews ping near Noah's body earlier in the morning? No, they didn't. Also, why they haven't been questioned, in my opinion. Did any of my nephews give Noah a shower that morning? No, they didn't. Brylan Sweat, Carter Combs and Jasmine Millan claimed they did. Well, Carter Combs never mentioned Brylan Sweat's name. Who confirmed that Brylan Sweat was present helping wash Noah, and why does it take 3 people to do that? 1 or 2 is more than enough. There's a claim to go looking for Noah at some point. Well, to say at some point, you could merge that in with the 4:30 in the morning of when they supposedly got back, or some of them did. And you have no clue what you're talking about. I again have messages and emails to prove what I have done and didn't do. And George, that suspect list came straight from Donna's house. There are several things I've never believed from that house. Always looking to blame someone else. I've stated several times, whoever did this to Noah or lied about it, I hope gets charged to the fullest. So let's see, who pinged near Noah? Oh God, my name's mentioned. Who had to do the polygraphs? Who lawyered up? Exactly. This is silly, Warlight Ref. Oh, here we go. This is where Justin starts acting like a complete plank. But you got to get them views right. And those deep pockets filled. Keep paying you to try and discredit me every chance you get. You do understand, Justin Roy, that the video that I did in recent time is about Ace Franco. It's not all about you, Justin. Justin, you're starting to sound kind of like Jan All About Me, #1 Times bestseller and Wall Street journalist extraordinaire, Fiorillo. So, Justin, or more so just in lacking context, Roy, I think you need to get a grip of yourself, because how you're behaving now is very disappointing, and I'm disappointed in you. How you were acting and how you were in the past was better. You have gone downhill since. And that's an observation that's been clearly made. But let's just make one thing very clear. Justin Roy, okay, I hope you're listening. Look, listen, and learn. For me to do the videos that I do, which you don't agree with, that I'm doing them to get views. Have you seen the views that I've got on my videos in regard to that stuff compared to the other stuff? It's pretty much the same. It's not that great. The case is dying. People aren't as interested anymore, but I'm still going and trying to keep it alive. Justin, look at my channel. Look at my most viewed videos. It has absolutely nothing to do with this case. It's got absolutely nothing to do with true crime, anything like that. My most viewed videos are of music that I've created. So you would think, Justin, For me to get them views would mean I would have to resort to constantly uploading music videos instead. And I've not done that for years. Instead, I've actually covered and created videos which are getting significantly less views. That is a fact. You can see for yourself. The videos that I did on this case in the early days when it was more hot and people were, listening again, it was like 2 to 5,000. You look at my videos now, I'm lucky enough to get at least maybe 500 max. It's just how it goes, the life cycle. If you wanted to be extra stern, you could say that Wallite Ref's channel is dying at this moment in time statistically. And yet I'm still here covering the case. It is what it is. As for the deep pockets, well, as for the clothing that I wear, I don't always have pockets on me. So that's unfortunate, isn't it? In terms of my videos trying to discredit you, they're not discrediting you. You're doing that to yourself based on your behaviour and actions with time. And Justin Roy, I've seen your petty behaviour in the background as well in group chats in the past, either encouraging or agreeing with my videos being reported. So you are in absolutely no position to be talking. Simmer down, Roy. Simmer down. Moving on. Again, it's been 20 months. OHP has had my nephew's name since September. Geofence has been done, yet they still have not been interviewed. I don't think there are persons of interest in this case unless OHP is incompetent. Well, with Caden Pressey, how police didn't really want much to do with him at the start, but Caden kept pushing and finally got a response. Did Justin's nephews push hard enough for an interview as well? Maybe you shouldn't have to, but just to get it out of the way, why not? Oh my God, has never interviewed underage kids that were there, why not? So now you've seen the things that Noah's family hasn't? Interesting. Not all of them. No, they have not. Not sure you can solve a puzzle without all the... Not sure you can solve a puzzle without all the pieces. You do know, Justin, that is what was said to you with Anthony Linares and Caden Pressey for the first time, when Anthony Linares said, oh, and Justin came to me with 2 puzzle pieces out of a 5 puzzle jigsaw. And you can't just use 2 pieces of a puzzle to fill a 5-piece jigsaw. It's not possible. And when one of the 2 pieces that you hand in has been discredited or countered or debunked. So Justin, for you to say that line, it's the line that was said to you by the police guy. Oh no. Anyway, Justin says to Lilia, look at you, always vindictive and changing the narrative. Jack told me himself he pinged by Noah, that's why he took a polygraph. Others pinged by Noah as well. Keep being a vindictive, miserable person, Lilia. You are showing your true colours of who you have always been. And that last comment to Tim. Justin says, Tim Daniel, you are stupid. I literally did a podcast on my family members at the party. What, a podcast dedicated to your family members? Or you mean the Partners in True Crime one where you vaguely said, oh yeah, some family that were down there. No names mentioned. There's a big difference. I literally have emails and messages of what I told Ellie and gave them all the names I had at the time, including my family members. Okay. Mike Johnson, same with you. Y'all are very miserable people and vindictive. Bottom line, Ellie has had their names and choose not to interview them because they're not persons of interest. In my opinion, it's been 20 months, you idiots. Ellie would have interviewed them by now if there was anything there. All this was a vindictive jab at me. That's it. Y'all look and sound real stupid, but I guess it gets the views right, Warlike Raph. Now, these videos do not get the views that you think of, okay? Am I getting tens of thousands of views? No. Because this case is not hot. Some of these subjects and topics are not hot in other people's mindsets, but they are still important. So Justin, you can use your silly jargon and your agenda, but it's just not applicable here. Okay? Maybe someday you'll understand. We got Glenn. Oh, we've got Holly again. Holly throwing her dolly Oh my, I've seen it all now. No, it's not an accident. Are we saying that Justin's nephew is somewhat involved because of his record? Warlight Ref, you've stooped to an all-time low. Get a haircut with all the money you're getting paid to filter lies, and a therapist. You're unstable. But where's your proof and evidence to say that one requires a therapist? And in terms of a haircut, oh, don't worry, Holly. Down the line, I'll be in very, very good hands when it comes to a haircut. All under control there. But in terms of responses, pretty outrageous accusation. No one is paying or has paid him anything. His hair is his business, and he is just objectively reporting on the case as he sees it. He doesn't need a therapist because he has been helping many people deal with the facts, as we know them, although they're very limited. And to be honest, arguably speaking, what I've done for humans, I would say I am the therapist myself. He's been paid. I've seen him being paid. You basically mean super chats and super stickers. You do understand, Holly, that it's the public's choice. The general public make the decision to support my channel. And of course, when it happens, I'm obviously going to, acknowledge the people. It's normal behavior. He's publicly begging for money at the top. At the top of what? See, there's a difference between saying, please give me money, I need it. And then there's another difference to saying, if you want to support the channel, here you go. If you want to. If you don't, that's okay. There is a difference. Begging is when you are demanding and desperately asking for something. The opposite of begging is when you're just very casual about it. Oh, if you want to, if you don't. So Holly, you just don't understand, do you? He's showing as he sees it. Warlight Wrath, stop sticking up for yourself. You're showing what you choose. There's a barber on every corner these days. Leave your bedroom and get a haircut, a proper job, and stop begging of the Americans. Well, first of all, no begging is being done because we've already outlined the language and wording there. And second of all, I don't have control of the algorithm or the audience or what geography where people come from. YouTube is heavily dominated by people from the US, and it will always be that way, followed by maybe people from India or from your own country, wherever you come from. So for me, the UK. In terms of a haircut, it's fine as it is at this moment in time. Outrageous, very outrageous. How weird. Julie says to Holly, get some counselling. You are a freak. Maybe. And Justin says to Holly, exactly. Anything to do with my nephews or Caden or Alicia, they think Noah was murdered, yet when they're being questioned or looking suspicious by pinging near Noah or giving him a shower or going looking for Noah, then all of a sudden it's a hit and run or just an accident. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. Warlight Wrath just feeding it too. Not feeding it, interpreting what's going on. You need to understand, Justin, that if you want to word it in a certain way, I was on your side in the past. And just remember, all those videos that were done when your back was against the wall, when you may have effed up at times, or there's been counterpoints against you, and I still tried to defend you. Clearly, you got a memory of a goldfish that was flushed down the toilet, and you can't remember it. Embarrassing. Holly, I'm so sick of watching all this, and yet here you are, constantly. It's frustrating, now calling out young men. The reality is, Holly, all you have to do is walk away and don't bother coming back. You are easily a replaceable human. At this moment in time, you are a whiny statistic. Once you're gone, another person will replace you. That's just how it works, natural selection. You don't have to explain anything about your nephew to me. Poor kid, this is absolutely vile. Warlight Wrath should be ashamed of himself. No, because I did everything correct, above board, and I'm actually very pleased with how my video went. And in terms of my wording and language, in terms of my disclaimer, was absolutely fantastic. But besides that one girl says, Holly, don't stroke out, or have a stroke in general. A chill pill and a glass of water may do you some good. But I guess if one person was to have a stroke, as long as they have another stroke, it might straighten the face out. Justin says, crazy how when it has anything to do with my family or Ken Pressy or Alyssa, you'll think it's murder. Right, so Justin is a broken record on repeat over and over again. One comment will not do, we'll do 10 instead. Great. Natalie, it's simple. Love, just don't watch then. Yeah, pretty much. Spencer says to Holly, you sound so bitter. Do I think Ace or any partygoer or group have anything to do with Noah's death? No, accident. I let Ellie do their job. Fair enough to Spencer. Spencer's got some good reasoning ability and common sense. But as we've seen with time, not everybody has common sense. Justin, yeah, if it was an accident, someone moved him to where he was found. Why though? What, because of the blood? Is that all? It did not happen on that highway. Injuries were way too bad. No blood, no debris, no skid marks. Justin, there was blood. Maybe not enough as what we interpret, but there was a form of blood present and nearby. It's been worded, it's been noted, it's been acknowledged. To say that there was no blood, it sounds like bloody vampire has come along and bit Noah and sucked all the blood out. I don't think so. No bitterness here in any way, just telling it as I see. Yeah, might have to rethink that one. Look, everyone, good old Justin is out hiding. Okay. Becca can't stop crying. Okay. You're a very miserable, vindictive person. Okay, broken record again with words. Getting all the injuries. What's new, Bex? You're always laughing so hard. I can't help it. Your comments are so dumb and bizarre. I'd rather laugh at you than be nasty. I've been watching you for a bit. You have to be told you're a nasty one, actually. Don't twist the truth. So what? Has Holly been stalking Becca now? Interesting. You really don't need to feel sorry for me. I have my own mind. You have your own mind. Is that Sam? And it goes on and on and on. If you want to pause the video, feel free to do so. I can't really be bothered going over it. It just goes on. What's this one? What a pair. You hit a new rock bottom when the mental patient is your biggest supporter. How weird. Wait, why is Rebecca responding to Joyce? I don't see Joyce there. Twinkling. You and Holly might, as in Justin, may want to seek help because I feel another manic episode coming from you guys. Just can't stop. Oh, Bex has plenty of friends. She doesn't follow the leader like you do with Justin. Have a good day. And we've got pumpkins again. There must be a new trend. Also, I saw a comment on the army page from a local saying the road was shut off long before 8 in the morning as she had relatives who couldn't get through. So we can shut that lie down right now. The road was shut before the time you BBC are claiming stop lying. Well, Holly, if you actually did your research, I've already done coverage estimating the time of when the road was shut off, around 7:30 to 7:40. And for Caden Pressy to state that he left at 7 in the morning and he had to take the back roads because the highway was already closed off, well, it wouldn't have tied in line that. So, Holly, do your research. Oh, Rebecca, on the same wavelength as me. Took the words out of my mind. Oh, bloody hell, Becca. Well, there we go. Carl, Wallet Raff, why would Justin Roy withhold this identity information from us, the public? Well, I explained it in my video at the beginning. Basically said that Justin Roy may withhold certain people's identities because, one, protecting family, I understand that. But also, two, more importantly, those partygoers at the time, all, if not most, were underage. So you don't really want to be revealing them to the general public. You want to be protecting them. I get that. I guess when you're an adult, you can handle yourself more so and do your own things and make more decisions. But someone like Ace Franco, Ace wasn't 18 at the time, underage. So there's that. As for when my video was made, just recent, and the mugshot, that's when Ace, in 2025, more recently, 18 years of age and upwards. So it's all above board. I made it extremely clear, but I guess still not good enough. He told everyone this in his interview. Holly, he did not. Justin, and Justin said it in his own comment within my video thread. Justin in Parts in True Crime said he had nephews or he had family of family that were down at the party. That's it. Wow, that's so informative. Do we actually know the names? Do we actually know who they are? No, just that there are people that are family of family that are at the party. Holly, obviously you've not looked at that, have you? So when Carl questions Holly, Holly's instant response is, "You're vile. I cannot even believe I'm lowering my standards to interact with a lowlife like you. Gulping face makes me sick." Mentioned his nephews. Yeah, nephews. No names mentioned. Identities not shown. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Being a puppet. Being paid by BBC. Let's shout out to Brooke for her $99. You're cheaper than Trav. Oh, well, there we go. You get a little name drop right there. Maybe some people are just jealous of the super chats or super stickers, whatever it is. Whenever I see them on my channel, it's always a positive surprise to see because I'm never expecting it, and it always, well, it can come out of nowhere unexpectedly. What he said in a comment below, he told everyone, okay. Oh, I forgot. BBC's $99. So, once again, whilst this might be aimed towards Carl, basically it's more so aimed towards me, but Holly believes that Carl is me under an alternative account. But then you've got other people out there like Trav that believe that I am George Choden and that I am also behind somebody else as well with longer hair. I must be a very busy person then, right? I think I'll just rather stick to me, myself, and my channel and do videos instead of relying or using default accounts, profiles, and alternative ones because I just don't see the point of it. It's a waste of time. Holly, are you saying you don't recall Justin's Partner in True Crime interview, Andrew? No, I've already acknowledged and mentioned it, so I don't know what you're on about. You made all these videos on this one case and you don't recall the video? Oh my God. I do recall it. I have acknowledged it many, many times. But Justin did not reveal the identities of his nephews, meaning the names of the people. There's a difference between saying, I've got 10 nephews down at the party, compared to, I've got 10 nephews down at the party, and here are the names of each individual. That's the true identity of them. Justin didn't do that at the time. I've acknowledged it in my videos over and over again. You have no clue what you're on about, Holly. Do you know where you are? Are you sure? Are you thinking that Carl is Andrew? And Holly says, he definitely is. Clearly, you're not intelligent enough to see that. You only see what you're told. This is extremely embarrassing, isn't it? Rebecca says, oh my God, that's hilarious that you think that. You do know that Andy, as in Andrew, is my friend and is an admin on Noah's Ark with me. Do you really think I would know for a fact? It's embarrassing now. Just stop, girl. Lisa says, Carl and Warlight Raph have two completely different ways of thinking. Exactly. They're not even close. Exactly. If Warlight Raph was going to impersonate someone, don't you think he would have the same thought process and patterns of speech? And have I ever impersonated anyone? No, because the reality is I am one of one. There is no one that can replicate me. And as for myself, I do not want to be anyone else or be under the shadow of someone else. I don't see the point of it. Well, yeah, he said his family. It wasn't until Donna's suspect list came out that he mentioned a name or two. Exactly, there we go. Also, Fico, Avery's rep list was paid off the day after Noah's pass and the fines were huge. Are you actually paying attention? It's embarrassing. You are embarrassing. Fico, are you related to Mike Tyson? What? The lady is coming at JR. That's because he removed her as admin. Bash's family. Newsflash. Caden has not shown proof. Robin supported them whilst waiting for proof but never came. She has said she hasn't seen it, and you support a group that calls her a liar. Anyone in Army group isn't for Noah Presgrove. And it was Victor Presgrove that called out the Army page before the 1 year anniversary, saying, don't be on there, it's not good. Well, yeah, for your information, I came at him because he has lied to everyone. Okay. Holly, BBC and her gang of fake profiles attacked poor Jodie in a snake pet. No wonder she left, poor woman. Well, supposedly she's left other pages as well, from what others have said. They cleared that group with bullying antics. Oh boy. All this mentalities and behaviours are the equivalent of a rapist then calling out other rapists and saying, how could you do that to someone? You need to improve your standards. How dare you? It's not a good thing what you're doing. And you think, well, you've done it yourself. You are one. Same mentality here, pretty much. Do we acknowledge that one? She has a lot more than one voice in her head. Okay, that. Carl, I agree with you, White Ref, that we need a complete list of who went to the party Friday, Monday, especially what happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep. No harm in that, is there? We know nothing about the names of those involved, also how many at the dove hunt, were at the party Monday early, 5 a.m, texted the boys' names, the 4 guys with Ace Franco. Fair enough, yeah. Holly says to Carl, why is this, Andrew? Are you now suspecting it's a case of foul play? You're unbelievable. Who the hell is this Holly person? Where does she come from? She thinks you're Andrew? Hey, you know what, that one girl? Hopefully the person from New Zealand, a long-time viewer of mine, doesn't come on in because he's called Andrew Culver. There was a lot of confusion in the past back then with other communities. Oh, bloody hell. That one girl. No, I'm utterly confused. She knows his real name is Andrew, right? That's not some hidden secret. What the F? Maybe I need to lay off the water. Oh no, not the water again. Okay. So some believe that Holly is under the influence of drugs. Who knows? George, so Ace was the nephew who told Justin of what he thought had happened. Ace who lied about even being there and at what time he had left. Would anyone consider Ace to be credible? Whatever he said should be considered truthful enough for Justin to go after all those kids. Rebecca, Justin really tried to get his nephews taken off the list of party attendees. I have an entire thread of it. I don't get it. John, no, Oklahoma has a lot of corn, but this May seems to have no out. This fella definitely needs to be in the likely suspects list, as in Ace, I guess. Ace was a 15-year-old at the time. Seriously doubt he's going to take on Noah, who was older, taller, and stronger. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Not specifically here, but there have been times in life where a much younger person has killed a much older person. That a much stronger individual has been taken out by a much weaker person due to it being maybe like an ambush or a cowardly attack. That really, yes, you can be big, you can be strong, you can be tall, you can still be in vulnerable situations at times, and other people can take advantage of that and kill you in those moments. So there'll always be like weak spots and weak points. You're not going to be invincible all the time. Junior Cadence said they drive around shooting everything that moves. Bored kids. Right, so you're saying what they did then at the party, that's what maybe Ace Franco did in 2025? Is that what you're getting at? Happy Easter too. Shout out. And we got Sonia, welcome to the channel. If they got away with it, they may have been cocky enough to think they're going to get away with it again. Lisa, interesting. He looks like a nice guy. Does anybody know if Ace went to the same school as Noah? Well, if anyone has any answers, you can list it down in the comments. Larry, I said all along, people know more than is being said. Hopefully the truth will come out soon. Strawberry says, great video. Appreciate that. Big shout out to Strawberry. Lilia, great video as always, Ref. Much appreciated. Oh no, Melanie's got another long comment. Let's see what it says. Hi Ref, sorry I haven't been able to be here for a little bit. That's fine. I'm still working on catching up on things. My feelings is it's important to look at everybody. It's okay to do that, and especially because we've looked deeply into all the others. There you go. Just those few sentences, Melanie is speaking very realistic, and it's just that matter of, if more people had that mindset, which Melanie does, we wouldn't have as many issues, would we? It's not being mean to anybody to take note that they were there and I do think it's important to be as unbiased as possible. I don't feel anybody is being mean taking note of this person being at the party. I'd like to know everybody that was there, and especially anybody there after 2 a.m. Yeah. But can I say something? Why are we always saying after 2 a.m? What, because that's specifically when Caden went to sleep? Shouldn't we be saying we want to know who was at the party at 3:15 onwards in the morning, considering that's closer to the time of when Noah actually walked away and when things happened? Right? Surely. Anyway, Mel says, Doug into everybody else. We need to look into this young man also. I don't feel there's anything wrong with doing that, no matter who it's related to. It should never matter who you are family with in a case like this. I don't know why the police didn't interview this young man. They should, in my opinion, by talking to everybody. Yeah, just get it out the way, clear things up, make sense, make progress. But they have more info, I'm sure, than we know. So maybe at the time he didn't stand out as a person of interest. This arrest may unfortunately make them look at him more closely, as it should be. You can't have charges like this and expect that you won't be looked at in a case where a similar type of violence may have happened to Noah. If he wasn't looked at, the police would be neglecting their jobs, so I don't see a problem with it. I'm very interested to know who was there after 2 p.m. and for the people that had been having their names kept quiet for most part. That does raise questions for me. I would love to know about everybody that was there and have the same scrutiny applied to all. That's fair. Check everybody out. If they're innocent, they'll be cleared. Okay? That one girl, I agree. They need to start from Friday night. The whole story may have started then. And this is what I mean. Nobody wants to talk about Friday. Caden Pressey, who says he was there, who says he wasn't there, who says he was there, mentioned, in parts in true crime at least, I don't want to be talking about Friday. Why is that? And how come other people aren't? I was one of the first people to go on about Friday, and other people kept saying to me, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter Friday. We need to focus on the other stuff that's most important. See? Catalyst like Raf. There we go. Melanie. I think so too. For some reason, nobody talks about those days, and there seems to be people that weren't mentioned that were there. All the focus was on Noah's immediate friends, and would really like to learn more about those on the peripheral of the party. Fair enough. Just do that. Shout out to Mel. And we've reached the end of the comments here. Well, I think that's enough for today, don't you think? Let's transition onto something a bit different now and a bit more refreshing. This is in regard to the Mikey Lair Snapchat. And to be honest, you could argue more say so it's the Logan Jernigan Snapchat, because she appears to be holding the camera, but the main focus is on Mikey, because Mikey at 5:27 is at the house smiling, and Caden was saying at that time, well, they were at the highway and they already knew of Noah's death and they were upset. So one's right, the other one's wrong. One goes against Caden's timeline. And ever since, no one's really countered it with evidence. No one's really brought any points up until Trav Davidson. Trav Davison, also known as Criminals Hate Me, in which in the past Criminals Hate Me said, I am not Trav Davidson, but now claims to be Trav Davidson. So clearly Trav doesn't even know who he is as a person. But besides that, Trav's post here says, I was doing a side-by-side comparison of the two Snapchat photos. One with a timestamp that supposedly proves Caden's timeline is wrong, since Mikey is right there in bed at 5:27, and I noticed that something is missing from one photo to the next. Do y'all see it? Now, I don't use Snapchat, so I don't know if this is normal or not. Those 3 dots, which with the drop-down menu button, to be missing when the timestamp menu is pulled up. But it is a bit odd to me that all the other icons stayed on the screen when the timestamp menu was pulled up, except for the 3 dots. Does anyone who has and uses Snapchat know if this is just the way that Snapchat works, or did those kids make a Photoshop mistake? So, a valid question, and for once, Trav actually words things a little bit more appropriately compared to his erratic behaviour other times. Is he learning? No, because he will act up again after this video and onwards, but in the moment. For someone like me who has never used Snapchat, what basically happened is kind of like an indirect viewer request reaching out to me with this particular screenshot post. And my response to it immediately when I saw those photos down here, which Trav Davidson does not give credit to the original person that aired it for the first time publicly, which was myself. You know, it's a bit embarrassing that. Trav Davidson, know your place, know your role, close that mouth and simmer down. Can you do that for me? In terms of the screenshots or the photo here, which I believe was a photo taken of the device phone from that point of view, showing a particular Snapchat post. And take in mind, this was not the only one. There was another from a different angle, which was like before and after, as in I believe so, a photo where it's quite clear of what's going on, and then a photo with the overlay to show the timestamp. Pretty common sense that you show it in its entirety with more context, unlike what Justin Roy does at times with screenshots, as you know. That in terms of what's being mentioned here, though, is that you got the ... and that's the drop down menu box. You click on that, you get the information tab up. So basically me, who's not experienced with Snapchat, who's never used it before, what I ended up saying in response to seeing it for the very first time was, oh, well, that drop down box triple buttons is like a menu. Once you click on the menu, it'll bring up the timestamp and the additional details of what you may want to do. Copy the link, share it, repost. Is it private or not? Do you want to delete the snap or not? And things like that. And the timestamp. That once there is a button input and a certain action has been followed through, that button input, the button itself, will disappear when it's in use, as you see on screen. You press the three buttons, and then on the right you get the drop-down box with all the menus and list of what you want, and then the actual dots disappear, right? And if people wanted to say, oh, it's been altered with and whatnot, why would the one small little box in the corner be altered with and not the actual rest of the photo itself, right? So, yeah, you know, Trav doesn't have experience, so he wasn't to know, but I've cleared it up. I guess it goes to show that you don't have to have experience to know. Some just have it under control compared to others. And, you know, due to my lack of experience, but basically saying that is a situation, how would I know? Well, it was backed up by others that have extensive experience with Snapchat. As an example here, a viewer had a Snapchat post at some point, and you see the layout there, story, send to, chain, which must be link it or share the link. And then up here on the right, you got the heart symbol, you want to like it. Add sound, add music basically to your snap, video or photo. T means text, add text or font on screen. The pen mark could possibly mean just draw on it with like a pen or marker. Below, a post-it note is kind of like an overlay which you can add, maybe a sticker, something animated, an overlay. Then below that is like a sparkle with a face, could well be like an emoji or an animated one. I'm quite familiar with these symbols, right? So I've got experience there. And basically, that's what it looks like when you got a snap, kind of like what you see here on the left. And then when you activate the buttons, you know, there's three dots. It disappears because you've activated it, and now you're getting to see what's present on screen. That's pretty much it. Also, you've got to take in mind that, yeah, this is 2025 and that is 2023. Through updates with time, the device you may have, the aspect ratio, the dots may be in a different place. I mean, in fairness, let's zoom in here. The dots are in between the heart and the T. But on this one, it's still in between the heart and the T, but it's in the corner of the screen. Oh, does that mean it's altered with and whatnot? No. It could be the different device you have. And also, you know, one's done in 2023, the other one's in 2025. And, you know, with apps updates, it can change the UI interface, how it looks visually on screen, adjustments. And maybe at times there might be a personal preference to the order of how you have the buttons in or where you have them on the screen. All different types of reasons with common sense, right? And then there's just like the overlay of where it shows the time, the date, location, what you want to do with the snap, similar to what you see in that photo down there. So hopefully that clears that up. See, besides that Facebook post, what we've looked at, it has switched and changed over time. That Trav Davidson's behaviour has been extremely erratic when it comes to, at one point in the past, being really focused and fixed on the idea that Caden's timeline is wrong, he's lying, it's a mistake, or he's hiding something, and there's all kinds of dodginess going on in the background, and maybe Alicia as well, that nobody listened to Trav at the time, that Trav was right from day one, and that now he's owed a public apology. But then switching at another point to, well, maybe Caden Pressey is correct and his timeline's true and that this other stuff is wrong. It's just that strong, bold attitude and behaviour, and then doing a sudden U-turn at a different point. When you're so deep into something and so adamant and so passionate and focused, and you do a sudden U-turn and change in a completely different direction, do you honestly know what you're doing? You know? Are you there with it or not? But there can be a process and a change with time in learning and understanding. But if you do a sudden U-turn after being so fixated on one thing, and then you go to the next extreme in a different direction, are you just jumping on the latest trend and hopping on to the next thing to maybe get a reaction of some sort, or, you know, in alternative ways? I mean, like, I would say that there'll be certain people in the community that will claim that they want justice for Noah and truth, but their beliefs don't quite mirror their actions or behaviour or words. Do they really know what they want? Do they really know what they're doing? It does make me think. And just to add back in with Justin Roy, I mean, with all the whininess going on, I think I was supposed to touch upon the odd thing here or there. By now, we're dealing with such humans. What was it exactly? Well, all I will say is, when it comes to Justin's behaviour, it has changed with time, and it has gone downhill drastically with time. That Justin is behaving like one of those type of people that likes to throw about certain terms, words and labels and really jump ahead and jump the gun. That whilst at times I might have seen bits and I've tried clearing it up or trying to say, well, just hold on a minute, what's really going on? Honestly, with the rumours and the people jumping the gun before I was present in the case, I think if I was present in the case from day one and I saw people's screenshots or posts and the points what people were trying to put across, and I was like, wait, hold up a minute, what does it actually mean? What does it actually say? Are you interpreting it the way you want to, or the way it actually is and beyond? That, I mean, there's a level of more control earlier on, and if I was present earlier on, it wouldn't be as messy, or at least there'd be a greater understanding, right? Still on catch-up mode with things from the past. But in terms of Justin, how he might side with other people that may have a distaste, but the one disappointing quality, or it's not so much quality, but characteristic within Justin, is that Justin may side with almost anyone as long as that anyone has the same mindset as Justin, even if that someone may not be exactly a good person or could be unstable, kind of like what we've seen in the comment sections today. It's all embarrassing, and with the patterns and trends what I've seen in the past, it's no different now, just a different case, different names and faces, but same type of behaviour. So hopefully you found the video somewhat interesting. We'll see how it goes down tonight. If not so much, well, I'll resort back to the other coverage, but I needed to catch up on the comments because I've just not done so in recent time, and it's also good that Melanie Fagan has made another appearance. That's positive to see. It appears that possibly Melanie has been on the receiving end as well, that Melanie has been poorly treated by some out there, which she had hope or trust in, as in a positive way. When you may think positive of someone or some people, and then they turn on you, that like backlash, that twist can sting and hurt a lot more. But at least when it comes to over here, it's pretty much under control and pretty much stable for most part of it. The only pattern and trend what we're seeing in recent time is default accounts, newly created ones with a clear agenda, and it is embarrassing, but it's what's happened back then, it's what happens now, and it's what will happen in the future. It just is what it is. But there's still coverage to do on this case regardless, and yeah, there's just whiny people out there. That's pretty much it. So share the video, hit the like button, be appreciated. Drop a comment down below if you've got any questions, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.